President Biden want more migrants to come to Delaware?
I don't even understand that question, but I'll move on.
Oh, she's moving on. That was White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre dismissing a question about whether President Biden wants illegal migrants to come to his home state of Delaware. It's a perfectly fine question as the first migrants arrive at tent shelters built on New York City's Randall's Island. More are expected to arrive later this morning. Illegal migrants are everywhere throughout this country right now. New Fox polling shows border security has become a top issue ahead of the midterm elections. Voters are ranking it behind abortion, but ahead of climate change and the pandemic. Joining me right now is Florida Congresswoman, member of the Homeland Security Committee, Cammack. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much. And you've made the point that today every state is a border state because migrants are coming in, 3 million on Joe Biden's watch. Your reaction?
I mean, if I were Joe Biden, I would make sure that I never held a press conference again. I would not certainly put KGP, JP in front of a camera. I mean, this is embarrassing. And as I've said before, I feel like I need to retire the phrase, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. They have created this border crisis. They have allowed for these folks to come across illegally. And now they're belly aching about the results. Every town in America is a border town because of the trafficker in chief. We know that.
People are worried in Staten Island. Apparently, the migrants are being put in schools in Staten Island, and then you've got these tents throughout New York. I mean, my question is, why didn't we have these kinds of tents when we saw homelessness really peak? And it remains at peak levels. Homelessness is all over the country, certainly in big cities. How come the tents weren't put up for them? Now these illegal migrants are getting phones. They're getting, TVs. They're getting an opportunity to play video games, all that stuff in these tents. And authorities are still encouraging parents to double check their children's Halloween candy. Halloween coming up in a couple of weeks. And after a massive fentanyl bust at LAX in Los Angeles, officials took in 12,000 pills hidden in boxes of candy, Congresswoman, as we get even more reports of smugglers using Snapchat and TikTok to recruit people to drive migrants from the border into Houston. We're showing ads right now on TikTok. One post offered up to $2,500. Another one, $70,000, which we showed you a week ago. $70,000 to drive a 18-wheeler truck from McAllen, Texas to Houston. They're trying to get American kids to do this. Despite all of this, the administration is now pushing Arizona to remove shipping containers, filling gaps left in the unfinished border wall, Congresswoman. They don't want anything getting in front of that border wall, the open gaps. They want it to be free to just come in within any gaps for these migrants.
Yeah, and if you talk to the Democrats about their open border policies, they say that it's the humane thing to do. Well, we all know that the drugs, the crime, the trafficking, it is the most inhumane policy that we've seen in eons. And so, I mean, there's a lot to talk about here. Yes, big tech has been facilitating the trafficking of women and children. They are facilitating the trafficking of narcotics. Just 3 days ago in my own district, a mother gave her child, her toddler, candy that had been laced with fentanyl, and paramedics had to revive this child. This is happening all over the country. You talked about the tent cities. There was never this concern for our homeless population or our homeless vets. In fact, the Biden administration took money, $130 million, from the Emergency Shelter and Housing Program. It was designed for people on the verge of homelessness and our homeless veterans, and sent it to the border. This is what's happening. They are moving money around from place to place to basically take better care of those coming here illegally and breaking the law than they do their own citizens that are footing the bill. It's ludicrous, unacceptable, and it's going to change.
I mean, it's just incredible. And the fact that the media is not reporting this, the only place you see these buses, the only place you see the border story is on Fox News and Fox Business. It's just incredible. This is a huge story. 3 million people coming in on Joe Biden's watch, up to a million gotaways. We don't know what their intentions are, and they've come into this country illegally. The White House is now working overtime trying to distract us on defending their oil production policy. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm weighed in yesterday, claiming that the latest release from the Petroleum Reserve has nothing to do with the midterms. Watch this.
This is about what people are feeling on the ground. This is not about the political moment.
It's not about the political moment, Congresswoman, even though he asked OPEC Plus to hold off on the production cuts until after the midterm elections.
No, I mean, I think my colleague, Representative McCall, said it best. This is not the strategic political reserve where they keep tapping in over and over again, looking for some magic thing that is going to turn these midterms around. Listen, the Democrats have fumbled the ball at every single step, every turn. And now they're trying to put our national security at risk so that they may salvage a couple seats in the midterms. It's dangerous, and all the more reason why there's going to be a red wave. But we, the American people, we've got to get out and vote. A few cents down at the gas pump is not going to save this disastrous Biden administration.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned national security, because this is a very serious issue. All of these issues point directly to national security getting threatened, whether it be the influence peddling of the Biden family or the gimmicks around the midterm elections, like releasing all of this oil from the petroleum reserve. It's all very worrisome as it does attack the national security of American families. Congresswoman, we're going to keep a spotlight on it. We appreciate you joining me this morning. Cammack joining us this morning. Thank you so much.